Welcome back, Year 9 parents. This video is just all about GCSE music, a little bit of an introduction, and then we look at some course requirements and a little bit about what we actually study. But the first question we need to address is why study music? There's a list of reasons there which are pretty self-explanatory, but overall I like to think that music is a creative, expressive and enjoyable subject. It is academic, it's not an easy subject by any means, but it is overall quite enjoyable. It's a perfect opportunity for students to develop their confidence, develop their social skills, particularly interacting with peers, which ultimately, if we're thinking about the future and employability, these are skills that they're going to need, interacting with peers and that self-confidence. We don't necessarily look to study music just, if you want to be a musician. Obviously, if you want to be a musician, this is definitely the place to start, but it is an enjoyable subject that gives the students a chance to express themselves. So how's it broken down? What do we do in music? So there's three sections here. We've got performing, composing and appraising. Performing and composing are the practical aspects, where each worth 30%, and then the appraising, which is worth 40%, is more of the academic side, where we have a listening paper and we answer questions and complete an exam. Now, the performing and composing is broken down into two portfolios, and the first one is the integrated portfolio. So we have to do a solo performance on the chosen instrument, and that can be anything, any instrument at all. And we must stress that a voice is an instrument. So if there are any singers there, sometimes they think, I don't play an instrument. But if you're a singer, that counts. You can sing for your performance. We do, however, recommend that our singers also have some skill on the instrument to help with the composition. And that's the other part of the integrated portfolio. It's the composition set to a brief by the learner. So that's just basically composing what you want to compose. The next part of that is the practical component. And this is another performance, but it's an ensemble performance. So you have to perform with at least one other person. And then the composition in this portfolio is to a brief set by the exam board. They sometimes give it a set rhythm or a set scale or even a picture, and they ask you to compose in a certain style to meet to suit that rhythm or that scale or that picture. And then the last part, listening and appraising, that's that written paper with audio examples. It's about a 90-minute exam at the end of year 11, but it is worth 40% of the total GCSE. So it is somewhat academic in that sense. You're answering questions here based on the music from the areas of study, which we'll look at in just a minute. Here we go. So area study 1 is my music. This is about performing and composing using your instrument. Area study 2 is the concerto through time. This is Western classical music. So we're looking at Baroque, classical and romantic. Area study 3 is rhythms of the world, where we listen to Indian music, African music, South American, Middle Eastern and Mediterranean music. Film music, area study 4, ties in nicely with what we're doing in year 9. We also look at music for games as well, which is increasingly popular. And then area study 5 is conventions of pop, where we basically look at music from the 1950s, or pop music from the 1950s until now. So I will give you this as a PDF that you can download and click on the links to hear that music if you'd like to learn a little bit more. But of course, if you have any further questions, please email me using the feedback email address, and I'm happy to help. Hopefully that explains a little bit about GCSE music. We do want as many people to take this as possible because it is an enjoyable subject. We love teaching it, and our students do love learning music with us. So yeah, do consider it carefully. Thank you.